Thousands of calls flood 911 emergency lines every single day. But on the morning of October 8th, 2022, a dispatcher in Jackson County received a call that would shake the entire state of Iowa to its core. When the line opens, there is no sound of running, no frantic panting. Instead, the voice of a 55-year-old woman echoes through the speaker, eerie, calm, yet completely terrified. She's speaking to someone in the room, pleading, "Please, get out of here. I have customers coming in." The dispatcher repeatedly asks for her address, her location, but she has no time to answer. She knows the man standing in front of her is death itself. With her absolute last ounce of strength, she screams one single name, "Chris!" And in the next split second, a deafening shotgun blast shatters the silence. The phone crashes to the ground, but the line remains open. The dispatcher keeps screaming into the void, but from the other side, only a heavy, cold silence follows. And then, cutting through
that darkness, a deep, remorseless male voice whispers over her dying body. "F you." The line goes dead. This woman was Angela Prichard, one of the most respected figures in the town of Bellevue. And the name she screamed wasn't a stranger. It was her own husband, Christopher Prichard. But how did a smiling marriage spiral into a 12-gauge nightmare? To map this crime, we must travel to Bellevue, Iowa, a quiet town along the Mississippi River with barely 2,500 residents. Before this morning, the town hadn't seen a single homicide in a decade. This was home to Angela Prichard, a loving mother and grandmother. Her lifelong dream was to open her own business caring for animals. In March 2019, a local electrician named Chris Prichard entered her life. At first, he seemed perfect, quickly blending in with her family. But just 8 months into the marriage, the mask began to slip. Chris was fired for stealing $36,000 worth of company tools. Facing heavy felony theft charges, Chris spiraled into a deep depression. He turned to heavy alcohol abuse, fueled by anger and hatred. By 2021, Angela discovered a terrifying truth. Chris was using methamphetamine. The highly addictive drug turned his behavior incredibly violent and erratic. On April 18, 2022, a brutal domestic assault triggered a police response. The officer's body cam captured a weeping Angela describing her living nightmare. Chris was arrested, and a strict court restraining order was issued. Chris escalated his campaign of terror, forcing Angela to secretly hide colorful sticky notes around the house to document his twisted threats. Her fears were confirmed when she discovered hidden spy cameras and a GPS tracker on her car. Desperate, she secured a permanent protection order on September 1st. But when Angela returned with police to pack her things, they found horror. Chris had completely trashed the home and left loaded firearms out in the open as a direct threat. Shockingly, the police refused to arrest him, claiming his name was on the property deed, leaving a dangerous killer fully armed. This was Chris's ultimate snapping point. To hide his movements, he borrowed a friend's white pickup truck, hid it in a remote barn, and walked through the dense woods under the cover of darkness. He waited in the freezing cold outside Angela's boarding kennel for 4 long hours, stalking his prey. At 7:34 a.m., Angela arrived, and within minutes, she was brutally executed. 12 hours later, heavily under the influence of drugs, Chris was found casually laughing about her death at a remote cattle farm before passing out in a recliner chair. At midnight,
A heavily armed SWAT team surrounded the house and arrested him. In February 2024, the murder trial began. Although the defense claimed it was an accidental gunshot, ballistic evidence proved it was a cold, calculated execution. The jury needed less than 1 hour to reach a verdict, sentencing Christopher Prichard to life in prison without the possibility of parole.